Guys, the Cavs beat the Spurs last night. They've now won 3 in a row after losing 4 straight. And in the fourth quarter, it was all Jarrett Allen. He dominated the fourth quarter. Tristan Thompson got ejected. Allen took over, and Donovan Mitchell scored 25 points and had 14 assists in the win there. Jason, after the game, the big talk was Jarrett Allen coming through in the clutch. San Antonio was not playing a big. They were trying to play 5 out, and the Cavs took advantage of their weakness without having a big down low. And we've talked about Jarrett and his versatility. Some nights you need him to score, some nights you don't. Last night was a reminder that, sure, he may be the Cavs' 5th option on offense, but when push comes to shove in certain matchups, he certainly can deliver.
Jarrett's temperament and personality will be a big benefit to this team because he could sit the last 6 minutes of the game and he's not going to pout. He's not going to have a poor attitude about it because there's going to be playoff games where he doesn't play. He's not part of the closing lineup. And there'll be other nights like what you saw last night where he is. And it takes a lot of these guys have a lot of ego and a lot of pride. And when you're making the type of money that he's making and when you've got the resume that he has, sometimes it doesn't sit well with guys when they're not part of the closing lineup. But I don't think that's a concern at all with Jarrett. I think he fits this team perfectly in terms of his mentality and team mentality and that sort of thing. And we've said it 100 times. He can be productive without ever running a play for him. You never have to run a play for Jarrett Allen, and he's going to have double-doubles more times than not. He's going to get his 16, 18 points, his 10, 12 rebounds. It's some nights 18, 20 rebounds. He just sort of fits right in. So it's a great situation to be in. They can play so many different styles. They're flexible now with their rotations, and Jarrett's a big piece to what they can do on the defensive end. He's great in pick and roll. He's great as the roll man on lobs, on pocket passes, finishes, any of that stuff. And there's going to be nights where he doesn't play at all the last 6, 7, 8 minutes, and that's okay too.
I like the energy. The energy on a two-hand dunk is what I want to see at all times. To me, it is more than just the points. It's more than the rebounds. It's the physical nature of it. It's the demeanor. And that's the type of demeanor that the Cavs have to have the intelligence about. When you are playing a team and you watch what the Spurs were doing down the stretch, they was playing small guys, and instead of the opportunities that you see where Darius Garland may, pull up with a tough 3, or they may swing the ball around the perimeter, or Donovan Mitchell has a step back, what they started to realize is, okay, well, let's get it inside. And let's see what Jarrett Allen can do. I thought DeAndre Hunter did a really good job of getting him the ball on some of those quick little floaters on the left-hand baseline. And to me, the Cavs are going to be dangerous, and they are the most dangerous when their bigs are active in the offensive game, whether that is on the glass, whether that's high-low action with Evan Mobley and Jarrett Allen, or whether that is we're throwing lobs because he's the roll guy. He's rolling and looking to score. Not rolling look to pass, rolling to score. And Jarrett Allen is a guy who is a person who, if you get him active on offense and he's getting the ball and getting touches and finishing, his defense kicks up, his energy kicks up, he's more involved. So to me, this was a great game for Jarrett Allen, and this is what Kenny Atkinson should be telling his people all the time, Jay. Hey, look, these guys are going to play defense. Sometimes we're going to get beat on the perimeter, and that's tough as a big to always have to cover, and you go 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 trips down the court and don't get the basketball, your energy kind of goes down. It's human nature. But if he's able to do that, you can see that it opens up another dynamic where you're not counting on step-back threes to get your offense going. Now everything looks a little bit more open.
Yeah, I agree with all that. It was interesting that as they let the game sort of slip away, they after the terrible 8-0 run they gave up to start the game, they went on a huge run of their own.
Yep, it was like 16.
And they were up double digits, good double digits, and it was interesting how they just sort of said, okay, no, now we're going to dial in, and this is what's going to happen. I thought 2 things last night. I thought Donovan Mitchell's distribution of the basketball was next level. He was making one incredible pass after another, finding the open guy, whether it was on the perimeter or cutting to the basket. He was really doing a good job. But what was interesting to me was they let San Antonio back in the game, and then I thought, okay, someone's going to have to be the hero. Who's it going to be? Is it going to be Garland? Is it going to be Mitchell? And it wasn't either one. Although Mitchell had a good fourth quarter too, and Donovan made some play, or Darius made some plays. It was Jarrett Allen who basically said, "No, I got this. I'll put the team on my back in this fourth quarter, and will us to victory." And it was nice to see that in a close and late game, because I think with 3 minutes to go, were they down a point? Or
Yeah, it was like a tie game with 3.5 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, it was right there in the balance. And the Cavs just said, okay, enough of this nonsense. Let's pull away. They almost won by double digits. I think it was 124, 112, or 122, 114, something like that. And so when they needed to, they reached down, they found it, they pulled away. And I love your point about the temperament, Jason, because it really does speak to the construction of this team. And I don't mean the talent, I mean the personalities. Can you imagine a championship caliber team in the modern era of the NBA that had this kind of temperament? They must be a joy to coach.
Yeah.
Because you've got no powders, you've got no divas, you've got no babies. Everybody.
It's very unique.
They all, if you dig up, I did a research project yesterday. I went back and I found all of their kindergarten grade cards, all of them. It wasn't easy to do because some of these guys went to school far away. They all had the box checked, works well with others.
Yeah.
Remember that box on our kindergarten grade card?
Yeah.
Works well with others. When they built this team, it's astonishing to me how not only did they get the right blend of talent, that's hard enough. They got the right blend of personalities. Will that lead to a title this year? I don't know, but I'd rather have those personalities than any other in pro sports.
It's wild when I think back the teams that I covered and the big, huge personalities
And beats.
and divas on that team, and they made it all work. And Ty did a terrific job of conducting the trains and keeping all the trains on time.
Yeah.
But this is such a different team. There is no comparison between the two.
You think the organization learned from that and said, God, we really got to get the personality piece of it right because we never want that part of it again?
You can't avoid that. Like, this is so rare.
I've never seen it.
No, it doesn't happen. I think personality matters. Yeah, like they look at that stuff. I think some of this happened organically. And really, like with most things with most teams, it's follow the leader. Whatever the leader does, it's going to have a trickle-down effect on the rest of the locker room. And we all know who the leader was of the last run of this. And Donovan has a completely different temperament.
Right.
So in there, everyone else is going to fall in line. And that's not to say, if the number one guy was a little bit more boisterous and a little bit more diva-ish, then, some of those tendencies would probably come out in the others. Yeah. But when the top guy is just sort of quiet and chill, well, that's going to trickle down too.
It helps. Mike's got a great stat.
I have a crazy Jarrett Allen stat for you guys.
All right.
So Jarrett Allen is at best the fifth offensive option for the Cavs. Maybe 6 or 7.
I would say 6 or 7.
Wow.
The way you structure how many looks you're giving to Ty and Max Strus. They don't run plays for Jarrett Allen. So, whatever, 5, 6, 7, however you want to order it. Think of the luxury a team has when their 5th, 6th, or 7th option, according to ESPN tracking data, is the single most efficient pick-and-roll screener in the NBA. You ready for these numbers?
Wow.
28.6% of Allen's possessions come off being the screener in a pick-and-roll situation. That's not a crazy number, but 28.6% of his possessions. On those possessions, Jason, you'll appreciate this number. He averages 1.28 points per possession.
Yeah.
That is stupid.
Yeah.
He shoots
so they're
66.
scoring, what, 60%, 65% off
He
of that?
shoots 66.7% from the floor on those pick-and-roll screener opportunities. And when he's not making shots, he's getting fouled 16.9%
Well,
of the
what
time.
does he shoot for isn't it like 70%?
He shoots 70, but a lot of those are dump-offs and just easy dunks. So in those roll situations where he's on the move, he's still shooting
a high percentage.
67, just under percent from the floor. Your 5th, 6th, 7th option offensively is arguably the most effective screener in pick-and-roll situations in basketball. It is an incredible luxury for the Cavs to have. And Jarrett Allen, he's not going to make All-NBA. He wasn't an All-Star this year. But, my God, that dude does all the little dirty things you need to win at a high level. And the Cavs are lucky to have Jarrett Allen.
Yesterday, Mike Polk ran a piece on our 5 o'clock show upstairs at Channel 3. It was just a commentary where he was basically saying, he said this line like 8 times in the piece, Jarrett, sit down. And so his thesis was, we get it. you're tough.
That's why he texted me about that, and I was like, "Why are you asking me about the Cavs?"
Oh, it was a great piece.
I gotta go
if
look
you get
at
a chance, take a look at
real
it.
quick on that. Jared did not wear his wrist wrap yesterday for the first time.
Really?
He says we asked him afterwards. He said my hand feels great now. It feels a lot better. I'm
good.
back to where I need to be at. So he acknowledged the fact it was bothering him.
Yeah,
but he played through
that's
it.
interesting.
And time healed it. So
yeah, the piece, and I definitely encourage everybody to go check it out. You can see it on WKYC.com. It's Mike Polk's from yesterday. It's 3 minutes long, easy watch. He basically kept saying, "Okay, we get it. You were labeled soft last year because when you were day to day, you missed the rest of the season.
Right.
And we get it that you're tough, but please sit down." Basically the whole point was Donovan's sitting, Darius is sitting, Evan's sitting. Load management has become the buzz phrase in the NBA.
Yeah.
You don't need to play 82 games. We get it. You're tough. We were wrong. And I just thought it was interesting that on the night Mike says that, and the night Evan Mobley is sitting, Jarrett Allen becomes the offensive linchpin in a fourth quarter comeback and a nice victory. So I don't know that it's important to anybody but Jarrett that he plays 82 games. It's clearly something that he has set out to do. I hope he does it. I hope he can do it. And I also hope that at no point during the playoffs we look at him and say he looks tired. He looks tired.
The moniker does not get stripped away until the playoffs come.
Well, you make your reputation in the playoffs.
That's the only listen, and good for him. He's trying to prove. Sometimes you got to prove something to yourself before you prove it to other people.
Yeah.
He doesn't like the moniker, and for any big dude, heck, I'm bigger than regular people in regular life. No one wants to be called soft. No one wants to be called a pushover or anything like that. You only can rectify that at the highest level against really teams that are going to try to bully you. So this is great. I'm interested in seeing how he handles himself against the big
Playoffs can't
times.
get here soon enough.
That's true.
Please,
Cannot
I
get
know.
here soon enough.
This schedule that they've been given is a joke. Just a joke.
So, yeah, to play
You got to
5
go
and
out
8,
west for 5 games in
home,
8 days.
then fly to Detroit for a game tonight, and then back home for LA for an afternoon Sunday game.
What is that?
It's crazy. Kenny was not happy in the locker room.
And
about
he
that
shouldn't be.
yesterday,
It's a
so.
joke. I don't understand the trip to Detroit.
Well, even
That's
on
the
the West
only
Coast,
time that made sense.
on the West Coast, they went from Utah then to Portland.
I know.
Back east.
I
That
know.
makes
Ridiculous.
sense.
Let's
That's
go